Hey there, guys. So, this is gonna be another personal video, because I don't necessarily like to talk about celebrities who have passed because I feel like I feel like it's just something that you don't want to do. You don't want to talk about someone who has passed, who's gone. My focus is out of. Okay. I don't know what's wrong. For some reason my camera just went out of focus, but I just don't think I need to go that far to talk about a celebrity who had passed away. But this one is a bit personal to me. Earlier this year, I told you guys that Steve Ditko meant a lot to me as a comic book creator, and he did, but he did not mean as much to me as Stan Lee. And as you know, for those of you who haven't heard, I imagine you have, but if you haven't, today, I mean, depending on what day you watch this, it might be yesterday, whatever, depending on when you watch this video, the world lost Stan Lee. Stan Lee has passed away at the age of 95. It's emotional. I just don't know how to process it because it's just something that is kind of personal. My camera is just going out of focus. I'm sorry. It's just this is personal, and I don't want I don't want any technical issues during this video because I just feel like I need to talk about this without something going wrong because, today actually started out pretty good, I had a Toy Story 4 trailer, actually watched a Detective Pikachu trailer and actually liked it. I'm going to take off my hat for this. And actually liked the Detective Pikachu trailer. It looked like today was actually going to be a pretty fun day. I was going to come home and film 2 trailer reactions back to back, and it was going to be great. Until I looked on my phone and I looked at Instagram and I saw the first post. It says, "It happened. Stan Lee passed away." And I said, no, it can't be true. I looked it up and I saw it on the Hollywood Reporter reported Stan Lee passed away at the age of 95. And I cried. It's just so sad. This guy was a hero to me. He really was. And I know I can't really be too upset about it because, he wasn't... I didn't know the guy personally. I didn't know the guy. Wasn't a family member of mine. But he meant a lot to me as somebody who... as a creator. As a storyteller. He was a guy that influenced me as someone who loves telling stories, as someone who wants to be a storyteller in the future, just somebody who was always trying to. I'm getting water-eyed, guys. I'm like really serious. This is like it's not even fake tears. It's just like really getting emotional here. It just means a lot to me that this guy, although I didn't know him personally, it feels like a personal loss because the guy who created my all-time favorite superhero ever, Spider-Man, It wasn't just Spider-Man though. The X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Punisher, A guy who has cameoed in every single Marvel movie up to this point. Every single Marvel-based movie Stan Lee has been in, has been a part of, and has helped, be in the creative drive behind it. And it's just hard for me to process the fact that this guy is gone. That he is no longer with us. Um, I'm still trying to process it because it's just hard for me to talk about it because it's like, how do you talk about something? How do you talk about a person who you never knew, but also try to, talk about them, like how they impacted you, and that's what Stanley did. Stanley impacted me a lot in my life, I created a lot of my own superheroes because of him. Never drew them out or anything. I just created their background, their stories for these characters. You know, I, I, you know, I'm just so grateful to have seen his work. I'm honestly glad that Stan Lee was around, was alive to see what his work has become. Because not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of obviously, as whether, despite what you may think about, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the creator of that isn't alive to see those, to see what those characters are, for probably good reason. But Bob Kane wasn't alive to see those amazing Christopher Nolan movies. Stan Lee was around to watch the development of the MCU. To watch the 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from the first Iron Man all the way up to Avengers Infinity War. Heck, we can go even further back than that. He was alive to watch Blade, the first Blade movie, be made. And then was around to see Sam Raimi bring his amazing character Spider-Man to the big screen. He was around to see the X-Men evolve and go into their franchise. And I'm just glad that Stan Lee got that opportunity to be a part of that. And I'm glad that Stan Lee was around long enough to influence people, not just from the generation that grew up with the actual comic books, for those who grew up with the movies, because I grew up with the Marvel films, and yeah, I watched a lot of Marvel cartoons obviously the 90s Spider-Man cartoon was around when I was a younger child, but I'm talking about, I'm glad to see that his characters were able to influence someone like me, someone who wants to be a storyteller, someone who wants to make stories, bring stories to life. I'm just glad someone like that was able to influence me. And to that, I just want to say thank you, Stan Lee. Thank you for the influences. Thank you for the thank you for just everything you've done for the superhero genre. Thank you for giving me a character that I have fallen in love with ever since I was 5. That I am basically, aspire. I basically have aspired to be Spider-Man ever since I was 5 years old. Thank you for giving me a character like that, and I hope that you rest well, that you are up there just dancing and freaking. I hope you walked right in and said Excelsior, because you, good sir, you deserve it. You deserve a lot of praise right now, because you are you're a legend, not just in the comic book reality, but in pop culture in general. You are a legend. You're a legend, and the world will never be the same without you. You know, a lot of people know that I've been in a little bit of a rivalry with that one kid, but that one kid actually texted me to tell me, all this is aside, I truly am sorry for you that your hero Stan Lee has passed. And I've gotten a lot of people telling me, "Oh man, sorry about. I heard you know, Stan Lee passed away. It's so sad." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. You know, it's just." But I guess we can't be sad too long because, you know, yeah, today is a sad day. But let's just remember, although Stan Lee isn't with us physically, he is always going to be here. His work is going to be around for generations to come. You know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to keep going. We're obviously going to get more Sony Spider-Man movies. You know, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm not going to do my little catchphrase because I think it's a bit too silly to do it right now, but just thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.